This is the hour. We meet once a week on a Sunday and we look at very interesting discussions. I try to meet every Sunday as much as possible. And today, being a very special Sunday, I think we're in the middle of our festive celebrations in Dominica, something called the World Creole Music Festival, one of the biggest events on the calendars of any country. Certainly Dominica's biggest entertainment event and one of the Caribbean's greatest musical event. It's taking place in Dominica right now, today being the final day, Sunday, for 2023. And I'm meeting us on this discussion to spend 60 minutes, the better part of 60 minutes, to speak about things that I think might be interesting to some of the people who are going to join us live, and to others who will view this broadcast after. So, welcome to the hour. Today, we are going to talk about Creole Fest, Sewo, Wake Me Up. We're also going to look at from AM, PM to PM, we working, something that emerged during this season. And I'm going to take some time to look at that fighting spirit of resilience of the Dominican people, the resilience of the state and the country is something different. The people, and my view is to speak about survival beyond the festival season. After the dust would have settled, what next? And I'm happy you have joined me. There's a few who would have, and if you are listening to this in the rebroadcast, it's nice as well that you have chosen to do that. Welcome. So I want to first of all wish every Dominican a pleasant independence celebration. Somehow we do not, in many instances, remember the significance of the season is to celebrate Dominica's independence. So we are celebrating our independence. And for the past 23 years or so, this World Creole Music Festival had been placed to coincide with our independence celebration and probably have even eclipsed the reason for the season, which is our independence. But I would like us to remember that the biggest thing of them all is a celebration of our country's independence, becoming an independent nation on November 3, 1978. And for the better part of the for the past 23 years, this new addition called the World Creole Music Festival has flavored and exported the idea for our culture, our independence, and everything that goes with it. But essentially, is Dominica's independence celebration, and Creole Music Festival has been placed as an attraction during the independence festivities. There is a particular conservativist or conservation person who said that the Creole Music Festival was a bastardization of Dominica's culture. Some of us didn't quite agree. We understood after what it really meant. Because, yes, I mean, for the ordinary casual observer, what are we celebrating? Is it Creole Fest or independence? And most people will tell you it's Creole Fest. If you look at the impact of Creole Fest on independence, most people who do a conscious analysis would realize that the Creole Fest is all about the Creole Fest during our independence, when it should be all about our independence with Creole Fest as a tributary to the entire event. But that's not what I'm going to speak about today. I'm generally going to be speaking about what the Creole Fest has done, what it signals. We're going to talk a little bit about the Sewo uh, and the Wake Me Up, nasty business, um, and the AM/PM connotation. And as I said, the fight of the Dominican people. which is kept alive through our efforts, not necessarily through the work of anybody trying to help the people. Because for the past over 2 decades, Dominicans have generally been on their own, as Dice says in song, on my own. I think most of us who have succeeded have done it on our own, with little to no input from the central authority. Although everything that we do, somehow there's assistance in different areas to cause it to happen. But from my experience looking at things, Dominicans have had to muscle it out on their own generally, and have taken the bull by the horn and did what is necessary to be done to maintain themselves in a very rough economy in our lovely nature isle. So the fest, I explained it before in terms of what the Creole Festival music has done for Dominica. As to what it is doing now and what it was supposed to do, that is a debate again. I do not really like having those kind of debates, although I do. But somebody else will do that, man. Probably Wadix or like a Sobas Esprit or one of those guys who had been around for the start can speak about that. I have been around as well. I was not the biggest player at the start, but I was certainly an instrumental uh, operative. I certainly was about among the first in terms of the media coordinations or coordinators. I was appointed media coordinator for the first 1 or 2 events, and certainly I was a presenter, MC of most of the events up until the Labour Party won an election or two after and decided to discontinue my services with the Creole Fest. But that is what you took money from me, you took trash. I don't think they did anything to take my good name away, so it doesn't really matter what they did. And I've seen a different set of people emerge to host, and I'm happy with what is happening now. People must rise. But it should be the same for everybody. Those same people who move me should be moved as well. You in government and you want to stay in government, and people who are not supporting you, moving them to the point where you in government even performing on stage now. As an entertainer, AM to PM, we're working. We'll get to that in a while. But I like there to be mobility, like in my case, like when I was in the Calypso Association, I served for 10 years and I was moved. But some people don't want to move. Why can't we all just move and come and move and go and come back again? So what I'm saying is my involvement with the festival goes without, saying. I've been involved. I'm not, again, one of the founders of the movement, but I was there integrally involved. Uh, I was taken out of it for the better part of a decade now, which is fine. But I continue to support the movement. I continue to support the festival, and I'm hoping maybe when we would have been celebrating our 50th birthday, if God gives me life and I'm here, somebody would invite me back as a to do a little cameo or something, or to, or I don't know what it is, but I would still like to contribute, at least while I have some strength. And it was good to see my brother Gordon, Fue Gordon, whose effigy was used, first of all, to as a signature of the festival. And Gordon too endured much pain too, political retribution. And Gordon didn't have to do anything different to get to be on this year. And I hope Gordon is on next year and every other year until Gordon is no longer able to do it. Because Gordon is the one who basically single-handedly, I think, not single-handedly, but he was one of the forerunners of the event. And I know what Gordon would have done to get the event going. So Gordon Henderson should be on that event every year. I do not see why he shouldn't be. Every year. Probably not in the same performing capacity, but in some form. An ambassador at large, a promoter extraordinaire, something. So probably there's hope for me one day I might be on again. And whenever that time comes around, I'll embrace it with open arms because it's to serve Dominica, not to serve any political party. So I hope the maturity will visit the politicians one day and they'll realize, boss, It's not a good thing to put people off because of their partisan allegiance or because of their politics. And if you think I'm singing for my suppers, fine. Why can't I sing for my supper? Who's gonna sing for it for me? You? So far, so good. The festival is going well. Dominicans turned out in large numbers, and based on our reports, it looks like Dominicans are having fun. Our people are very well dressed. They look happy, but looking and being are different things. I'll get to that in a little while when I discuss after the dust is settled. So I can say nothing bad about our festival and our country and our people. Nothing bad whatsoever. All praises and props. And if we're giving props, we have to give props to the governments prior to this one, because they're the ones who introduced the festival. And you must remember them as well. I wish they did more to maintain their narrative around that instead of. Anyway, let me not talk about the former government because people normally say I picking on them. Although I give in all sides the same blows, or fear blows, but somehow when I suggest certain things, there are some who are quite sensitive and who tell me, oh, I picking on one set too much. And look at me, I talk about those who fired me and everything else. For them, they're not hearing that. But when I speak about their side, they take catching feelings. And that's not a good thing. So I wouldn't say anything else. But I still want to give credit for the former governing administration to have birthed the Creole Festival. And for the past 23 years, we have had it. So you must think about the members of government who in the authority at the time when the festival was created. So our first topic. Number two, Sewo. Sewo had been popularized in Dominica. And I don't think it's only in Dominica, it is known as that. But I think we had a lot to do with the kind of flavor that Sewo gets. Sewo te means to fet, to party hard, to drown your sorrows into the moment, musical splendor, to drive away your grief. And even if you don't have grief, but to put on a particular persona of just living in the moment and just enjoying the exuberance of music, fun, food, frolic, and laughter. That is Sewo, and nothing wrong in that. Why can't we Sewo? It's okay to Sewo. But is life about Sewo? Yes and no. Life is not only about Sewo, but what is life without a little Sewo? So I am all for Sewo. Granted, I won't necessarily make the kind of a daybreak I used to make before. And if I'm ever called back to work Creole Fest, I won't do the all-nighter as I used to do. I used to work all night Friday night and leave the pack on Saturday morning, go to my work at DBS, work on Saturday, come back, get ready, and work all night Saturday night again up until Sunday. I will not do it again that way anymore. But I'll be happy to work any shift, the early shift, the late shift, the whatever shift. I'm hoping that I'm surprised and the Creole Music Festival people will call me for next year's festivities and plan for me to co-host our Dominica event as well. It's my event, it's our event. Put me on the stage, I can speak French sufficiently, Creole fluently, English fluently, make attack patois fluently. So I'm good. I'll do a little Spanish if I have to. So I have at least 6 languages that I can work with on the stage. So put me on the stage, gentlemen and ladies. I've never been on a public stage and embarrass anybody. You know I'm not going to say bad things about the party that is running the government if I'm on the stage. So why be afraid to put me on the stage? Anyway, I'm saying that in joke, but I mean it. Give me a job, man. Put me back on the Creole Music Festival stage. I'm qualified. So what's the big deal? So I believe in Sewo, but I also understand that there is a Sewo kind of mentality that has been dominant in the Dominican political landscape It has been interspersed in our political culture, and it is probably too dominant, where the cool out, Sewo, free up, easy kind of going, forget everything else, but look at me, the dancing, singing prime minister, will solve the problems of the nation. And that is where the problem is when I will discuss when the dust is settled, what next? It is fine. Let us see what and see what hard, but let us work hard. I see a sister. I see a sister from St. Joseph on a Facebook Live saying that people get tickets. How many tickets for Creole Fest? And she don't get, and she vote for Labour. And she's right, because she has been taught or been brought into a situation where she gets things for what she do, for the vote and for the support. It should not be that way. Because when the Workers' Party initiated the Creole Fest, they was not giving their friends tickets to go. And their friends and supporters will not come in and say, oh, that person get, I didn't get. They created the environment for people to work, to earn their money, to buy their tickets, to support the fest. Right now, politicians getting tickets to give to their constituents so that they would go. So the fest will look very brisk, but the fest not making money because the prime minister and his group gets thousands of tickets to use as props and tools to satisfy the constituents. There is no way you can satisfy all your constituents to give everybody a ticket. So the sister that didn't get a ticket from St. Joe, I feel bad for her. Probably the pal rep didn't, cater for her in a way. Maybe things was tight on the pal rep, the young pal rep. Things are tight. He didn't have enough tickets. Because there is no way you can give everybody tickets. Because, come on, guys. The place will have a lot of people, but there will be no money. The festival will cool. And if we don't watch ourselves, this present governing regime will cool the festival because we are looking good, but the festival is not making money. So something will give. All you giving too many free tickets. Nothing in life is free. Give people work. Let them buy their tickets. So it looks as if a money happening, but it's not really happening. It's a facade. People dress looking nice and pretty, but how many of them bought the clothes? I'm not criticizing the people. I am just calling attention to underlying issues. Because you can fake it as much as you want and as for as long as you want, but eventually something will emerge. And you will see that it was a propped up kind of supported kind of facade that has been created, and it will collapse. You cannot sustain an economy on fakery. And I didn't say another word when I said fakery. So don't go and change my word. There's no you in what I just said. Fakery, I created a word called fakery. You cannot promote an economy, sustain an economy on fakery. Fakery as a word is a sort of attitude way of something that is, but it's not. So eventually for the next, maybe if we do that for the next maybe 5 years or so, I think we'll have some problems. Especially we brought down Burna Boy last year and I was told we paid him $1 million plus. That was a problem. It was election year, so fellas do what they have to do. But at the end of the day, you continue winning, you continue looking good, you continue dancing and singing. That thing that you're doing will bite you in your bottom. It's not looking good, it's looking good, glitz and glamour, but at the end of the day, the nitty-gritty is saying the prop will break. It's a bamboo prop you use, you put a lot of cement at the top, it will break. It's one bamboo prop. You need plenty of bamboo props. And even steel too, they use them, the steel thing as well. The constructors who are listening would understand what I'm talking about, or those who have built homes. You can use bamboo, but you need steel reinforcement. Because if you don't have proper foundations of the economy will collapse. So this sister was saying that she didn't get tickets, and I understand her because they have been taught to depend on people to get stuff. How the hell a politician have to give you a ticket to go to a festival? When did that start? I mean, if you deserve it, you deserve it. If you are press, media, if you are an employee, if you are a band or something, an artist. But a regular citizen who pays their bills, depending on a politician to give you a ticket to go first. So I agree with the people for saying I didn't get ticket, but that's one of the things that has to be fixed moving forward. Unfortunately, those in office now will not fix it, so they need a new. There must be a new group in office, and that's what I'm championing for: a new group of people to fix some of the problems. Hopefully, that has been created with that old regime that has been in office for too long. You see how hard I'm been on the regime, and all we're going to say again is all the opposition party I'm going against. And I'm talking about things that can benefit our people. So we talk about the Creole Fest, we talk about Sewo. Wake me up, nasty business. It was not on, now it's on, which is fine. Nasty business is not a new thing that has been around from time immemorial. All artists have sang smut and sort of lyrics that for mature audiences, albeit in different ways. The treatment of the music was different, but in a different time. People now want to say the things they want to say. I wouldn't even repeat it, but it's fine. That is what they choose to do. If you think there is a place for it in the festival, put it there, and I think there is based on what I saw. If you do like it at the time, cock your eyes and close your eyes. Go and take a drink, go and take a smoke and come back. But I think nasty business have a place everywhere because not most people who do nasty business, no, whatever you call nasty business. So if it's in this song, probably DBS and Kyrie and Q should not play it, but it's something that it's commercially viable, I think. So the wake me up, I use that as a metaphor to talk about nasty business. I have no problems with it. People, especially the young people, that is the best way you choose to express yourself. Fine. Other people did it differently before you. Okay, remember that. And probably, I don't know if it's lack of training or whatever, but you think that's the better way. Fine. I hope emerging generations find another treatment because cooked food and raw food is food. But alas, cooked food tastes better than raw food. According, well, let me be careful because some people do sushi, and for them, sushi is the best thing. So let me rephrase that. The way in which food is prepared and presented, and according to who eats the food, it tastes a particular way to them. But for most of us, the nasty business sounds a bit. Well, for most people, the nasty business might sound a bit something showy, and for some, it's fine. For me, I'm in the middle. Um, it seems to have a halfway about it, and the beat behind the nasty business is what pushes the thing more than anything else. The sing along is just a fast, not a facade, no, it's just a thing. But the beat is what's contagious about it. So let the young people do their thing the way they can do it. I just wait to see what the next group of young people will do if I am lucky enough to survive and to see what they will do. But I think things change, and what was sometimes come back to be. So probably the way in which Sparrow and others dealt with nasty business in some, we might see that happen again in terms of the treatment of the music. So that's that in terms of the wake meal. AM to PM we work in. The Prime Minister sang a song with Mr. Reed, Cross the Bridge. In fact, created the song with him, and I just saw right there from the very start where this was going. And to me, I have no issues with that. That is what you call excellent political marketing, and it's a strength of the Prime Minister. He just knows how to do those stuff. So I have nothing negative to say about that. The lead up to the song, and it was just fascinating. And I don't think the Prime Minister overacted. I don't think he was overzealous. I think he was consciously, genuinely invested in the little craft, and I think he performed it well. Whenever I saw he performed it, um, so I want to give him my credit for that. I mean, that is what savvy politicians do: find moments, points of contacts, and high points of interaction, tying his idea, message, and his performance to the CO and by so doing attracting the young people's mind. I see how the young people reacting to that. The young people, maybe when they realize that they must make a decision and they go and make the decision, they might think and make a decision for him. You never know. That is the psychology of the process. You don't win an election on the day of. It's what you do in the lead up, the years before and in between, that cause you to really show up on the day. You can do your little gymnastics and your little zazemuzai too. You can bring on people to vote and stuff like that too. But you have to create a sort of atmosphere that make you seem to be nice and pleasurable and entertaining and everything else that goes with it. Even if you suck, even if at the end of the day it's just ayapala. No, I'm not saying that for the Prime Minister. You know. I'm just saying his little gig. The AM to PM, we working. Those people who are criticizing it, if you do it at your own peril, you should rival it and do better than it. Like when the PM dances quadrille, his rival should dance a ballet, but probably his rival could not dance the ballet. So those little things sometimes add up to your advantage as a politician. So he now sing from AM to PM we working. If I want to go against him now, I have to come and sing a Kaiso and make the Kaiso finals. You see what I'm saying? Compete and win the Kaiso crown. Can you imagine the monarch, Kaiso monarch? Well, let me just say that time because Carissa was Kaiso monarch and he didn't do well in the politics so far. But he's still working. He's still working. What I'm saying is if the PM can do, you can do too. And it does not mean if you do after he do, you following him, because he does do after you do. Politics is about give and take, tit for tat. If somebody do a thing that is working, you copy it or you take it and do better at it than them. So put in the little silly, clever post I'm seeing people putting up there about the man's song. Doesn't make sense. You're only making him bigger. You're making people go and look for the performance. What you should do, if you're interested in politics, as I am not, I don't have any desire to run for office, but find a way to connect with the people the way he connected with the people, especially the young people. So there's nothing wrong with the AM to PM we working. I'm not too sure what work means, so I cannot deny whether the man working or not. Is he working for me? I am not too sure that he is. But he say work is working, or work is a worker. So whatever he means, he means. So I want to see somebody take that song and change it and throw it back on him. That's what politics is about. Not about making some smart little comments that really have no beginning, no middle, and no end. This is what you call political strategy. That's when you come back and use what people do to not defeat them, to build on it, on your strength, on what they do. So I'm sorry, guys, I cannot join you to criticize the Prime Minister for bursting out like a Sewo and having a little bouillon track, because I honestly think it's okay. In fact, I think it's nice, it's brilliant, good political, not strategy necessarily, but it's political something. The name doesn't come to mind now. I'm not in that frame of mind right now. I just in a Sewo mentality now, and for the moment it worked. But the problem is the Dominican people. Well, not the problem. The major issue is my next topic, that spirit, that fighting spirit of the Dominican people. Dominicans are not bound to party, although they love their party, but they're not bound by their party. And I see people from different walks of life, different political spectrum, including my wonderful friend, sister, and comrade and colleague, Dr. Triffy. I see my sister Simone as well, Matthew. I see Dr. Dale Dangleben. And others in Dominica having fun. And I'm not seeing any color on their face. They are honestly, legitimately, genuinely having fun. My partner, Eddie Savrin, he always calls me. That's one of the better friends that I have. He's red until he red. But he's my buddy. If I want to have a good political conversation now, I call in Eddie or Eddie calling me. No fighting, no stress. And my brother Sylvester too, my comrade, who is a red fella too, but we have the most beautiful conversation. Edgar Hunter, my bosom buddy. That's a man I'll go to war with and turn my back on him because I know Edgar would protect me, even if Edgar not supporting my vibe politically. I want to hear how many of you can say that about your opponents. You I used to be with, rubbing shoulders with, because I try to help us to change corners. All you backstabbing me is all I can go and fight war with. So if I have to go and fight a political war for a team right now, you are going to join? Oh boy, your examples doesn't tell me that I should trust you. Because if for 30 years I was good, how comes I bad suddenly now? Because I say, look guys, probably we have to shake up things a bit. So what I'm saying is the Dominican people are beyond the politics. Some people want us to remain in it and fight among ourselves, but we shouldn't. And no matter what, Dominicans will find a way to get a little money, to put on a nice dandan, to look beautiful. Oh my word, I saw for Dinah Frampton, my lovely sister. She is the epitome of beauty, a symbol of grace. For Dinah doesn't have everything happy, everything nice. Nobody has it all good. But she dress up. She represent. She's not thinking about which party in power. She want to free up herself. Asa Banton, my partner, although he does give me some shabby little blows, I know what he's doing. But he's a partner I respect. He playing his politics hard, but he's very smart at it. I can't go against Asa. So we find ways to make it work. And right now we're enjoying ourselves in our little Sewo. Many of us who didn't have find a way to get a little dandan to put on us so we can look pretty. That doesn't mean we feel pretty inside. Some of us might be sick, putting on a persona because it's just the time to free up and to see what's wrong with that. There's no fault. Although the minister who seemed to have been judging people based on their ability to be in VIP, when she gives them VIP tickets most of the time, saying, oh, based on the numbers of people in VIP, the economy is good. Nonsense. How do you judge an economy based on people who go to a fete? People sacrifice their little savings. Some people cannot even buy breakfast for tomorrow, but they're in VVIP today. They do a thing sometimes to rub a shoulder. You never know a connection. People do things for different reasons. If dressing up makes me feel good, I'm going to dress up. Even if I have to go and borrow the clothes or go and do something to get the clothes. So our people are survivors. I think more of us should be thrivers. But those people who govern us want to keep us surviving and depending. So no matter what, we will look good. We will try to maintain. And I give my people that I cannot say anything negative about Dominicans. If I have ever, on records or otherwise, said something negative about my people, Lord, you know best. And I'm challenging you again. Find anywhere where I ever said anything bad about anyone, how I brought my country down, anywhere, and present that as record. Not one, no one give no chat GDP foolishness, regenerate my voice saying something I never said because I know what I say. But if you can prove where I ever did that in all my life, and I've been on earth since Christopher Columbus landed here in 1490, whatever, I've been here. Prove to me where I ever, even in a joke, suggest that our people are not beautiful. And I totally withdraw myself from all public life, including my present profession. Never to be seen again, quietly in a corner. Because I know I have never done that and I will never do that. I believe in the goodness of our people. Not all Dominicans are good, but I believe in the general ethos of what makes a Dominican person. And that we will fight. We'll give somebody the last dollar we have, if we can. Although we have become a bit selfish, but in great parts, Dominicans are still a genuine people. And we will go to any length to make any sacrifice to take care of our family, as my mother did for us. And as I did for my children and will do for my children. And as any parent who does not have the means will do for their children. So that is the fighting spirit in the Dominican people. Mark you, the people are resilient and resourceful. The nation isn't. Because those people who control the nation, the state, they are not putting things in place to make us a resilient country. They only talk in lip service about it. And I think in another program you will see what is happening to the roads and to the network of communication in Dominica. You can't call a country resilient that a country cannot stand up against a little 45 miles an hour wind. So just saying it and shouting it does not make it real. What have you done? Where is the policy that you put in place? You build an apartment and call it a resistant apartment? Where? So talk is one thing. Action is another. So our people are resilient. I'm not too sure we have a resilient nation managed by policies of a state that make our nation resilient. So I say on blag. And we come to the final topic. I think Carlos wants me to join him on the TUD program after this program. I'm not too sure whether I will. I'll think about it. But in any case, join Carlos on that program. Carlos missed last week for good reasons. He had a family, a death in the family. He had to say his proper goodbyes. And it was a rainy Sunday. And things were, well, a Saturday. And things were happening on the ground that didn't make it possible. The atmosphere was not right for a program. So he's back this Sunday with probably that program or a reconfigured program. And he wants me to join, I'll think about it. But in any case, join Carlos, Team Unity Dominica at 3 o'clock. If I'm there, you'll see me. The final item on my program is when the dust would have been settled, what next? So our nice, handsome, former dimpled, very wealthy Prime Minister did a Sewo on stage and he do his thing. And all of us clap and we're happy. What happens from tomorrow? How is what he did going to change the way we see each other and impact our ability to fend for ourselves and our families? How will the experiences that we had with our little Sewo moment, how is that going to make the life of 100 people in Dominica better? Because maybe some people might make a little money in the bar, but the money that they make in the bar going to go in the higher tax rates that we get under the last budget. How are we going to move on from the benefits that we had because of the festival, the extreme money, the surplus that comes into the economy? Because we may have more money coming in from outside, foreign exchange, but the patronage at the event was not heavily supported by hard money, because it's fake money. It is like the government's taking free tickets to make the place look full. That somebody's going to suffer, not the government, but the coffers, the people. So what happens after the dust settles? Who's going to make sure that the impact of the festival is going to support the young children who came out there and dance to Asa Banton et al.? How is that going to probably help them to create their own industry from our music and our culture? What new activity was put in place to create the environment for some of our young people to go out there as attaches, to work with other festivals around the world, to be trained in different capacities? What have our policymakers done to ensure that this is going to be the case? Where a roving set of young people will go to about 2 or 3 festivals around the world and use them to augment our festival in Dominica next year. How is that going to help the Dominica Festivals Commission to find other ways to get more revenue to make a bigger event next year to keep the French people coming in to our festival? How is what we did this year going to make next year even bigger? Because we have millions of people next to us, north and south, Guadeloupe and Martinique. We can do much better. We should have, like, I know we have 2 ferry services coming in now, but Val Ferry and L'Express de Zille should be bursting at the seams with maybe 10 trips a day, every day, for the week of the fest. So when the dust would have settled, what is the plan to make sure we have at least a 10,000 French people next year? To extend the festival, to beef up the village Creole, which is a nice initiative, piggybacking on what Flo used to do. So I hope that all of these things would have been considered. So when the dust would have settled and the raising tides of the rivers, the swelling of the rivers go down, that we can say, okay, here is a path to wealth and prosperity. Not to continue depending on you to give me money to go to next year's festival. Or who didn't get last year, you'll get this year. That's how the politicians played. That's why they're going to tell them, you didn't get, I know you didn't get, but next year you'll get, man. And the next year will be the next year, and the election come, and they vote for them again, and the same old caution continues. So I hope that the dust would settle on a new set of plans to advance Dominicans' well-being moving forward. You see me, I'm not criticizing unduly or bashing anybody. I'm here speaking and highlighting things that I would like to see happen in my interest and in the interest of our country. We have a fantastic following, quite a number of Dominicans following, and sometimes when people have lives like that and they see people following, they go on and on and on and on forever. I'm not like that. I am grateful for the good following, but I'm going to get ready to stop. In fact, I'm going to look at comments that might have been suggested, answer to them, and then take a pause before 3 o'clock. If I had to go on for an hour or two, like some of my contributors on social media do, I would have had the hundreds too, and probably if I tweak my topic and be a bit more bang, 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 as I used to. Because before I used to get 1,000 people viewing too, because I used to be very red meat. Red meat politics in Dominica not working anymore. It works for those people who are masters of the art and who have the purse to support their red meat politics. Opposition politics can be red meat politics. You have to find different entry points. That's what I try to do on my program. Have conversations. And I say it again, that when I was a known supporter, I do not know how people knew I was a supporter of the opposition, but I guess things are seen. I was an envy of all of them in the opposition. They couldn't have enough of me. Now that I'm not a known supporter of the opposition, at least a party in the opposition, they don't like me anymore. I don't think the government people care too much about me too. So I'm in the middle, which is where I want to be. But I have friends on both sides, but more on the red side. Because I can call people now directly on the red side and we would have an honest conversation. But there are some people, if I call now, they'll curse me on the blue side. So I avoid calling people on the blue side. More of my political friends are red. And children, youth, and women. So those of you who want to oppose me still and think I'm against you, you're opposing yourself. And if there's anybody who understands what we need to do to seize the power from the party that's in power, please join. Let's talk. Let's find a way. Remember, as I said, it's not about me and me wanting power. I am the educator. I am the one who tries to help to bring things together. But with your expertise, we can make it happen. No need for anything new or any new direction. The direction is already there. Let's make it happen. I am willing to work. You are willing to be in office. Let's work together so you can be in office and Dominica can be better. What's so wrong in that? Let me look at some comments. And again, I must say I'm very happy. The numbers that I'm seeing on the live, I am elated for those numbers. Let me see if there's any interesting comment. Producers, put some comments here for me. Don't tell me there's none because I know there is. Comments before I end. I can see from my own vantage point. Viva Mamu. Alex, all you will say, I am going to. Alex, exclamation, exclamation. All you will say, I am going after all your opposition party. What is that about? I explained it. Viva. Because most times when I speak and I make references to things that could have been, should have been done differently better, there are some who come at me. But I do that across the board. I put enough blows and sticks on the party in office, and they never come after me. Well, they give me their little jabs, but they don't come after me the way your people come after me. So that's what it's about, and I explained that earlier in my little statement. That's what it was, Viva. All right. Producer, give me another one. Viva says again, it says a lot, Alex, that most of your friends in Dominica are on the red side. Interesting. Yes. Damn interesting. If I should add that, I hope Facebook doesn't send me to jail. And it shows maturity and thinking. Because although I am a known supporter of you and your blue side, but the red people are still willing to engage. And the people who know what progressive politics is about should know exactly what to decipher from that. Name me one of your members of your party right now, Viva, that can claim they have somebody on the red side that they are speaking to. And that does not mean anything good. People who are able to speak to people on different sides of the political spectrum are the ones who will most likely get progress in politics. Remember that. Remember that, Viva, my dear friend. Remember that. It speaks volume about my ability to be able to connect with all and most likely be able to help to influence the direction of politics moving forward. Because if you cannot talk to the red and I talking to the red, how are you going to talk to the red? You need red to support you for you to win. With the blue you have there is not enough for you to win an election. You need to get other people. So this is not just accidental. This has been worked at. And the names that I call of the people that I can call, know that I can call them and speak to them. And I have been doing that. I'm not selling out. You might believe that it's a sellout to speak to the other side. No, it is called wise and prudent coalition building, or at least having conversations. Who knows where it goes from there? So if I join me now, man, let's do the same. If more of us do that, Joshua is good at that as well. Lofty has the acumen to be that way as well, although Lofty is a bit on the rough side, but he's my boy. That's what we need to do, Viva. Be able to talk to our red, blue, pink, purple, brown brothers and sisters. We are going to need to do that. I heard the new speaker now, not speaker, the new president now talking about unity. First time in her life I hear her talk about unity. Now she's president, I give that to her. But some of us, Viva, you and I and others talk about unity already, you know. So it's nice that our president is speaking about it. And I join the president in talking unity. I'm not talking about party unity, no. I'm talking about progressive unity of the people to kind of safeguard. So she has a good term as president, or maybe good 2 terms as president. Because under the present trajectory, I don't envy her in the seat that she has now. If it is going to be a seat to bring our country progressively together. Because she inherited this seat in a way that is very, you know, not together. So it's good that she calls for it. And I'm supporting the president on that. You as well, Viva Mamu. And that's where I am with my conversation about that. All right. Any Shara Judge says, absolutely, Alex is correct. And I think Shara is giving me props for saying that we can speak to other peoples. My sister Lafoi, Julian, how do you know Viva Mamu is blue? Papa bon Dieu. Sister, it doesn't get more blue than Viva Mamu. It does not get more blue than Viva Mamu. Although I must say that he or she is reasonably blue. He's not, he or she is not hot-headed blue as some of the blues who want me out of the race. Viva at least engages respectfully. So I have to give that to Viva. Hey, last Papa made, but Viva is bluey. Laugh. He more blue than you and me when I was blue. If I thought I was blue. Because I never was a member of any party until I decided to create my own party. But I accept, I'm not going to run around the fact that I gave my kind of support and to the blue party. But the blue party has not done very good to maintain people's loyalty, especially when they say things that are not in line with what they want them to say. And that is the problem with Viva Mamu and his party. Sorry, her party. Sorry, the party that Viva Mamu supports. Viva, you look for it, you get it. Anything else, Mr. Madam Producer, before we move on? Because I think I'm ready to end. We started on a high and we ended on a high. You can say what you want about Alex. Alex is always trying to bring things together. And my perspectives are always bent on progress, laced in facts. Viva said, agree, this was a savvy, timely, and smart political move by the PM. You see, that's why I like Viva. I call it him or her, and some people saying, oh, it's a him. Viva to me is a her. That's what I know. And it doesn't matter the gender anyway. So Viva, yeah, that's what you have to fight back at. Beat him at that. Finally, Reginald Sabroch says, will you think that your party has what it takes to win the next election? But you see me talking about party there. Ronald, you rarely see me talking about party there, Ronald. Honestly, do you hear me say anything about party right now here? And haven't you heard me say on many occasions that no one party is going to solve the problem or going to be able to run a country or maybe even win a government? But Ronald, man, I don't understand you, man. You know how many times I have said, so I'm not part of a party, I'm part of a movement, which is a party of people. But how could I so callously and arrogantly claim that my party, as you say, TUD, is going to form the next government on its own just like that? Why would I do something like that when the data does not support that? And I've said so on many occasions, Ronald, man. You know better than that, my dear brother. You're just trying to tease me, man. I think TUD controls the narrative in terms of the united approach. And we have created a platform for that. But it would be foolhardy of me to say that. Okay, Ronald, probably you should join TUD and help us to do it. You and Viva Mamu and other people. Put the comment back again, Mr. Producer. I didn't see the last one you put up of Ronald, and I promise after that I'm going to stop to get ready. I think Ronald said no, but there was something something on the screen before that no. And that's the final comment I'll take from Ronald. Oh, that was it. Okay, I answered that already, man. All right, thank you. Okay, guys, that's it. We had some fun today. The numbers were high, they remained high. Thank you for choosing this little platform. Please share the good word that you learned today. And if you want to have a progressive engagement in the politics, just touch base with me. Let's do that. I think that's the answer, not one party. It has to take a concerted effort of different people, different players, for us to be able to rival that power sharing arrangement that this prime minister heads right now. It is easier to defeat him than not, but we have to all play our little role in defeating him. If we continue where we're continuing right now, you can count another 3 and 5 years on top of it. And that will spell trouble for Dominica. We don't want that. We have no choice but to find a way to defeat the present incumbent party in office. And the way to do it is not the silly innuendos that we see being posted frivolously. It is to work hard, to come up with a plan, guided by a strategy. First of all, to rival that Sewo song and other things like that, and to be proactive, not reactive. So the Freedom Party having a function, they say, to meet with the people from a diaspora on its own, in and of itself, is just not the way to go. Cannot be the way to go. I mean, it is a partisan move, but that is not the answer. You think different party going to get any bongs from that? So I call those things out for what they are. It would have been good to see the Freedom, TUD, UWP, and all the other groups, the workers on Wednesday, all of us meet with the diaspora. Why you alone want to go and meet with them? You're going to say you tried and we were not interested. When did you try? When did you call Carlos? Nonsense. I'm not vexing all you. I'm just enunciating a bit strong. I'm done. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Thanks for choosing me. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of the Creole Fest. Be safe. And I'll see you on the TUD program with Carlos in the next minute. Take care, guys.